Okay, okay, Sharad, quickly coming to you now. How does the math add up, where government has to be the primary initiator to bring about these transformative moves to allow for farmers to be open to these technologies, not fearing that this is going to hit their pocket?
Yes, Megha, as you rightly said, I think the farmers' receptibility to the whole system or transformation to drip irrigation is a prerequisite, without doubt. Now, if you look at the numbers globally, about 4% of global fresh water is in India's possession, or shall I say, India has access to 4% of global waters. Whereas 80% of the water is being used for agriculture. If you look at the international numbers, 80% of the fresh water which is available to the human beings is being used for agriculture even today. And with India having 4% access to waters is having 17 to 18% of the world population. So as far as India is concerned, I think the numbers very categorically speak for themselves, that we have a water shortage at hand, whether it is drinking water or whether it is water for irrigation. We have a categorical shortage there, which is very, very visible. So hence, drip irrigation becomes very relevant. And if we just go into the very, very recent past, when government suggested to, for example, the protesting farmers to move to those 5 crops, arar, urad, masoor, those 5 crops, cotton and maize, if I'm naming all 5 of them correctly. One of the logic given, Megha, was that moving from rice, which is an extremely water intensive crop, they will bring down their cost, the productivity of the field of the crop will increase, the efficiency of the overall producer or overall farmer would also increase, because you will be able to generate more money out of it. So I think, as I said, when you have to increase the revenue of the farmers, there are only 2 ways of doing it. Either you increase the price or you reduce the cost of production. Now, one of the ways you can reduce cost of production is bringing in efficiency, bringing in more productivity to the fields. And I think that is where drip irrigation comes, Megha. If they are able to produce more with the same piece of land, I think that's where the magic formula is. And I think the whole thing is aimed at the same thing, that you try and bring down the cost, or at least increase the cost. Of course, one of my co-panelists said that the cost is 50 to 55,000 per acre, which is a very, very sizable amount of money, and you need government's help to be funding it, if not wholly, at least partially, or there should be loans available from the banks for drip irrigation. That's one. But the best way is to increase the productivity, to see that the same piece of land gives you more money, either by way of reduction of crops or by way of increasing the prices. And prices is what we've been talking about for so long. So I think drip irrigation has got a future, but then the extremely high capital cost involved or installation cost involved, I think is a bit of a detriment there, or the bit of I would say a spoil sport there, which has to be looked into.
Yeah, and you particularly speak about how the farmers are being encouraged to switch to other crops that are not so water intensive, and therefore the MSPs that the government has proposed to pay for these particular crops and pulses. But the question that then arises, and a big challenge for the government as it is witnessing right now, is that the maximum number of farmers would want to cultivate the cash crops, because the largest the entire population of the country relies on wheat and rice, and not just within the country but across the globe as well. So how do we persuade the farmers? Is the MSP enough? Will they be able to generate same amounts of revenue or more if they were to shift to the other crops where MSPs are being encouraged?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Can I complete my answer?
Can
I complete my answer?
Yeah. I'll come to you in there.
The farmers, that's where farmers need to be educated. Because if the farmers are explained the mathematics of planting a cash crop or a commercial crop vis-a-vis wheat and rice, I think most of the farmers, I have a feeling, especially in this Punjab, Haryana belt, because, generations of these farmers have been doing wheat and rice. So they have gotten so used to it. They feel that switching the crop may make them jobless, or probably switching the crop may make the field unfertile. You know, so therefore, there is a need to educate the farmers, not just educate Megha. I am stressing on this point. The education should be with numbers. You know, if I've got a 2-acre piece of land and I generate, let's say, 200,000 rupees per annum, then I should be told that, look, I can generate 400,000 per annum, and my cost will be so and so, my take-home profit will be so and so, my savings will be so and so. This is the price. I think all this logic has to be conveyed in the right earnest to the farmers. That's the need of the hour. Only then you can see the transformation and transition, shall I say, happening.
Okay. Okay. All right. So those are all the important points that have been mentioned. It's good to have this discussion. The limitations of drip irrigation, where is it that it can be utilized on a large scale, and of course the subsidies that need to be provided, that already are being provided by the government in terms of the low interest loans to the farmers, to the horticulturalists. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast. Let's quickly take a look at a big development.